In this video, we're gonna be designing a cool sci-fi floor piece and also gonna be talking about design. Let's go. Look, modeling is important, I know, but so is everything else in the design process. In our free Hard Surface Jumpstart course, you will not only feel more comfortable with hard surface modeling, but also confident with rendering and excited about your new game-changing portfolio. Link is in the video description. Let's get started. Hey guys, Ryuu here from Blender Bros and welcome to another video. In this one, we're gonna be designing kind of like a sci-fi floor piece, that's going to be modular. So S Shift Z and SY, and maybe make it a bit thicker, okay? So now we're gonna apply scale here and think. Now, first of all, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to control click here and slightly chamfer these. So when you're gonna put these floors together, you're gonna have a bit of a gap here in corners, maybe for some kind of a bolt or, some kind of a fastening or whatnot. Cool. Now let's go to front view and let's just go to Boxcutter and enable this N-gon. Shift V and make sure that V align in auto is turned on. And we're going to slice this. Okay, now we're going to be slicing it rather thin here, and then we're gonna go deeper in to this piece here and do something like that, and then press X and slice. And we're going to mirror this to the other side. Same with this one, okay? What we need to do here is we need to drop it a little bit lower, right? So we're gonna select these elements here, right? Go back, and then we're gonna press Alt S and move your mouse to the top. So we're gonna basically move the normals a little bit down to create this kind of like a gap in here, okay? So from the top here, what we're gonna do is we're going to cut this. So let's grab this cutter and let's just cut an opening here like that, okay? And press V, then X, and move your mouse, array this somewhere here, and space, okay? Now in the middle here, what I wanna do is I want to cut it's sort of like an opening where we're gonna have a grate, okay? So here, we could have a grate. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to offset this grate from the top a little bit here, and I'm gonna align this here. I'm going to offset it a little bit deeper, so it's not aligning with this cut perfectly. It's gonna create a bit more dynamic feeling to it. B, and we're gonna go with the chamfers, okay? So create chamfers, so it's gonna echo the corners a little bit. Can be a bit deeper, maybe like that, and then space, okay? Now it's gonna be hollow, so what we need to do is recover the cutter and we need to shift it. So now we have a slice, okay? Here. So this is our slice, right? So let's grab this piece to local view and we're going to actually cut it. And we're gonna cut it like this, okay? And then from the top, right, we're gonna create a design here. So let's grab a regular square and let's cut it in here like this, okay? Right? And hold shift and click, okay? Then we're going to shift control click here and create a chamfered cut like that. And we're gonna array this, okay? So array and, X, and we're gonna array this across, okay? So across there, all right. Or in fact, we could array this just to the middle and leave kind of like a space in between them here. And then what we're gonna do is we're going to apply this. So visual to mesh, shift D that and move it in here, okay? And cut that difference, right? And then we're going to grab both of them, Control J, right? And we're going to array them down. So array them on this axis here, all right? Cool. And let's move this a little bit to the front. So it's kind of in the middle, yeah. Awesome. And maybe a little bit to the right, so it's closer to the edge here, all right? How looking? Yeah, we're looking pretty good. We're looking pretty good. Awesome. Okay. Now, before we apply this piece here, we need to do something very important. We need to run loops here. So when we apply this cut, we're not going to have to struggle with connections. Okay. So let me show you. One of these booleans here, which is the one on the top, I think. Hang on, this one, right? Let's apply that. Okay. And then we can combine these here, like that, and combine these here, okay? That's mirrored anyway, so you don't have to worry about it. Now, let's just drop a loop here and move it up. And drop another loop here. And another here. Another here. Okay. Just make sure that they're more or less in the middle of these cuts. And this is going to help tremendously with bevels and sheeting. Cool. So now I'm going to apply this, right? So operations multiply. You see, we're going to have these edges going across. So when I'm going to apply a bevel to it, right, it's going to take a bit of time, but it's going to be nice and clean. Okay, seeing this? It's nice and clean. So let's just apply a bevel. There we go. And weighted normals. Boom. And we got a nice clean grate here. Okay, cool. So now what we're going to do is we're going to turn off this bevel in viewport, so it's not going to eat our Blender performance. Let's clean mesh, so operation clean mesh to remove all this junk here. And we're going to grab this and we're going to chamfer it like that, but not too deep. Okay, grab that and let's just G and slide it in like this. All right. It's just going to create this nice slopey sort of effect here, and mark it sharp. Cool. And then we're going to create some wedge cuts. Okay, so here let's just grab a regular cutter and let's just press W Control, and I think one is enough. And then we're going to mirror this to the other side. Okay, like that. Cool. So here we can create a different cut. Press W to turn off the wedge cut and just slice it. Okay. Here too, we could have some, small wedges. So just press W and Control. And we could actually ever scroll this and array this. Maybe like this. This could be interesting. So 2 here and 2 here. So you see I'm trying to offset things, which is really important. Now select these two. And we're going to grab a circle. And we're going to actually cut this here with a circle. Now you got to be careful because it's mirrored. So let's just shift click this. And we're going to have to try to align this in a way that's going to be actually a circle, right? There we go. Okay, more or less, right? I think a bit more. Hang on. There we go. So that's a circle now, right? And let's just move this up a little bit. Okay. And we're going to kind of bevel this here. Okay. So let me grab that and bevel this in like that. There we go. And I want this to be here in the middle. So let's just recover the cutter. And we're going to grab that, insert it, right, and extrude it in the middle. And let's drop it a bit lower, guys, because I think it's a little bit too tall. There we go, that's better, okay? And I think we're good. So let's sharpen that and let's sharpen this one. And all you need to do now is run a mark sharp here and run a mark sharp here. And later on, we're just gonna run a bevel here. You could actually start creating stuff inside of that floor. So, you could cut this one out, or maybe slightly smaller, maybe like this. Create a bevel here and cut through, okay? And then we could run some pipes here, right? So we could also have cuts inside of this. So have a scroll that, and we could have cuts here. So go to the side view, and we could cut this here, like this, right? And cut it in, okay, and mirror to the other side. So you're gonna have this kind of interesting shelving here, right? And just sharpen this and grab this one, and we could bevel it inside here, same here. We can bevel the whole thing, just make a bevel really small. Remember, this is a metal floor, so it should be really sharp, right? Let's put on cavity again and let's save it. Cool, so now here we're gonna have some pipes, so let's just grab you know, cylinder and rotate it by 90 degrees. My orientation is messed up. There we go. So scale this and make it longer. Okay. And sharpen. Right. It's a little bit too thick, so S and Shift Y, I think. There we go. Move it in here. Kind of offset it and, you know, Shift Y and place one here, place one here, place one here, make it smaller. And then, you know, we could have bigger ones here and one more small here. And maybe this, right? So when you look from the top here, you'll be seeing some piping, which is, you know, pretty cool, right? Okay. Awesome. And you could have some other elements here on the bottom, like some kind of generators, batteries, hidden boxes with some wiring or whatnot. So we could, you know, grab a box here and make it smaller, narrower, right, like this, and literally place it somewhere here, right? Sharpen this, and we could just model it a little bit. Okay, so model it in here and, you know, create some kind of a shape here, maybe like this, right? And then cut it maybe on this side, wedge and mirror, sharpen this, bevel it, right? And you could have some additional vents here, whatnot. Okay, and V, X. And there you go. And you could have this one on one side and, you know, something else on the other side. So this one could be somewhere here, maybe like offsets a little bit. And here on this side, we could have, for example, some cylindrical elements like this, maybe smaller, and some kind of, you know, I don't know, two of them maybe here, right? So one, and then sharpen. And we could just, you could even put some decal on top of them, okay? So apply scale and chamfer it, and let's just inset it, extrude it, scale it, inset it. Right, and, you know, put a bevel on it. And you could have two of them, okay? So, you know, one here, or even three. This could be kind of like cut, you know, 1, 2, and sort of, you know, 3, okay? And it looks pretty cool when you know, walk on this floor, you can see through. Here, for instance, you could have some kind of cuts going through. So X and B for a box cut, and shift click to live. This is going too deep, so we need to go a bit higher than that. You know, this one will do. Maybe going to a certain point in this plate here. Here we could create a bit of a chamfer on these corners. It's gonna look interesting. And also we could have a chamfer going here, a small one. Boom. It's going to really nicely separate them from you know, this design. And you know, these could be basically okay, these could be decaled up. Okay, you don't have to create any details here if you don't want to, and we can, you know, do it later. So there you go. Could have some, you know, fastenings in here, whatnot. And these could have like tiny cuts, but you can do this with decals as well, so I wouldn't worry. I'm gonna show you how to add these decals now. So select the floor, Control I, press M, and let's just create a collection. Let's call it floor panel. Let's be anal. Okay, cool. And now we're going to slap some decals on it, alright? So let's start with maybe a text here. So we're gonna grab one of the decals from our pack. If you don't have it, just go ahead and grab it. It's an ultimate trim sheet and decal pack. It's brilliant, and you will bloody love it because it's so good. Okay, and you're gonna be able to use it for every single sci-fi project you have. It's so versatile. 12 trim sheets. Most of them are textured and not textured, so you can, you know, choose. And also 460 decals. So, you know, go ahead and grab it. The link is in the video description. Now here we're going to grab one of these, right? And we're going to scale this and rotate it. So I just move it in here. And actually, let's rotate it the other way. Oh, there we go. Something like that. And project. How are we looking? That's not terrible, actually, but maybe something different. Let me see. This one I think is going to be better. So just this, scale this, make it a bit larger, maybe a bit longer. You can extend decals, you know, and sort of slightly elongate them. Sometimes they're going to be a bit distorted, but no one's going to notice. Okay, so don't worry too much. And then we're going to click on a decal, match, and scroll to this darker mud here. Actually, this one looks pretty cool. I like it, slightly brighter. And now here on the side, we're going to add some legendary decals. I call them these. They're just brilliant. And let's maybe add them one of them here. I want to make them tiny. Okay. So D and project, right? And then what we're gonna do is grab that and array it. Press X with HardOPS. And what we're gonna do here is we're going to offset it. Okay, so gonna be cluster details here, cluster of details here. Okay, you don't want to create like a even distribution of things. Okay, you want to always cluster these things, so that's important. Here in the bottom also we could grab kind of like a vent, so make it smaller, you know, here, and we could put it either here or maybe somewhere here. That's good. And project. Okay, and we can mirror to the other sides. Okay, so far so good. Awesome. Now we do need something here on this side, so we can grab another legendary, right? Make it smaller, and you know, drop one here, and maybe we're gonna drop one here. Okay, and we're going to rotate it like this, and drop one more here, like that. Okay, maybe bring them a little bit down, so they're gonna be offset from the middle. So project them, probably gonna be an error. No, actually they got projected nicely. Cool. Project here. Now, see what I'm trying to create? I'm trying to offset things and create a bit of chaos. So here I might actually leave these and do not mirror them, but mirror that. Okay, cool. So now here on this side we have something else. For example, let's grab this text modular and drop it in here. So you see we're gonna have this kind of a offset of elements again. So project there. Cool. That's nice. This could be a bit closer to the edge here, maybe a bit smaller. So go to edit mode, scale this, and then GX. Move it here. It's gonna look a little bit better, closer to this cluster of detail. Okay, cool. Now these we can delete them. Okay, and what we're gonna do is we're going to grab the one inside, go to local view, move the cursor here, so Shift S and two face, and then drop a decal here on top. So we could grab, for example, this one, right? And then Shift S and two cursor and scale it. And we're going to project it, select them both, go to top view, right? Oh, before we do that, actually, let's just adjust the color. So match, make it darker, peachy. select them both, and then Shift D and Shift Z and move it on here, and then Shift D, Shift Z and move one here, okay? So we got these inside over there. This one here, right, could have another decal here like that, for example. And then I'm going to adjust it, okay? Put it somewhere here maybe. And then project it, right? And then we're going to match it, okay? Make it darker, you know, darker is fine, boom, right? And there you go, we got some, you know, a bit of depth over there if you look through, okay? We're not done yet here, guys. So here we could have something as well. Maybe somewhere in the corner here, you know, so we could have a nice cluster of details here. So let's go here and actually use the same one. So use that, as it's pretty cool actually. And we could make this slightly bigger like that. So it's going to indicate some kind of a mechanism that, you know, locks the floor in a corner, if you know what I mean. So here, match and make it darker, kind of like that. It's cool. So you see like the floor pops in and just lock it using that, which is pretty cool. Now we don't have to mirror to the top. Top could be different. Now here they have trim sheets, but I'm going to show you how to do that. Now if you have matte running on this one and it's a non-BSDF matte, you cannot just add trim sheets without textures because you will replace the whole thing. So what you need to do is you need to click on the plus here, right, assign a matte to it, okay, and then make a new one, okay, and then make it darker. So it's kind of like a BSDF matte, more or less matching, and then you run a trim sheet. So click on trim sheet and then alt click on it, okay? So when you hold alt, I already have a trim sheet here, so not hold alt, but you should if you don't have the trim sheets. And it's going to add trim sheet to this specific location, and hold control, rotate it, you know, and you're good to go, right? So you're gonna have, you know, just add it to this area, you're gonna be good, okay? I'm not gonna be doing it because I've done it already, but that's how you do it, okay? Here on the side, we could also have some decals, so we could just go to this part. This one is fantastic. This is brilliant. Let's just use that, and we can use this clip here, you know, one here, and then project it. And we don't have to do anything more in here. It's just fine. Okay, just make it darker here, and then of course we need to copy to the other side, right? So you got this clip here. You see offsetting nicely with this element. It just looks so nice and clean. And here we could have another element. So we could, for example, have this, adjust it. Could be something longer here on this side, kind of echoing this shape. So D and project. We're gonna mirror it to the other side, and then you know, we could have something here in the bottom as well, right? So maybe, for example, you know, like a regular clip like this. This could work here, like a small one, okay? So we could have one, and then, you know, Shift D and Y, move it in here, and then basically change color, right? And then project to the other side and see if it's not too much. Yes, it's not too much. It's, you can barely see them, but they there. Actually, we could make them darker, so maybe that's okay. Actually, this one, yeah, that's actually pretty cool. So you got, this is enough already, okay? Now here on this side, what we could do is add kind of like a indicator here, you know, some kind of a clip, or right, and just, you know, double click them and D and project, right? So you got these, they're gonna be nicely offsetting. Now it's a little bit right heavy, so we probably need to add something in here. What I would do here on the left side, maybe add a longer decal that would like one of these, for example, right? So adjust, let's make this narrower but very long, okay? So much longer, and we could literally drop it in here, okay, somewhere on this side, and D and project. You're gonna have this kind of a symmetrical feel to it, and there's something over there pulling attention, And at the same time, we could have some stickers here too, okay? So we could, you know, put something like, yeah, that's fine. Let's make it smaller, rotate it, and literally bring it in here, offset it from the edge, project, and boom. See, now you can have this balance. You have these, you know, these 3 here, and you got these 2 here. So you can offset, off-weights this left-hand side, kind of balances the right-hand side, and leave this one alone. Don't fucking touch this middle, okay? Keep your hands away from it. Now here we could still do something. So we could add some clips, maybe these. This could be a little bit too complicated, but what we could do is make them smaller, and we could project them on both surfaces. Let me show you how to do this, okay? Because this is a little bit tricky. What you need to do is you need to duplicate it. So Shift D, right? And you need to project the first one, boom, right? And then you're gonna project on it on the left hand side, you see. So then what you need to do is select these 2 and go to local, right? And you need to project it in here. So, you know, D, project, and boom, right? And then you got clip that's literally ripped in half. So you got 2 separate decals, but they look like one. Cool trick, no? So select them both, and then, you know, Shift D, Y, and move them in here to the bottom. And then we can mirror them to the other side, okay? Like that, okay? See how neat that looks? And then here we could also have some indication that it's a lock. So go here to our decals, and let me see. There was a decal here that says lock. Also, I want this one on the top here as well. Hang on. Because that looks cool here. So adjust it and make it smaller and put it somewhere here, so it's indicating that this is an important, you know, area or some kind of a device access, whatnot. That looks pretty dope. And we need something here, maybe on the side. Oh, there we go, this one, lock. That's what I want. Perfect. So here, make this smaller. You know, some of them can be smaller. And now let's think where to put this. We could put it in here. We could also put it on top of it. But I think this will do. Okay, see, boom. And this looks really nice. So you got asymmetrical elements, which kind of creates a lot of dynamism in the scene. Doesn't look boring, and you know, and everything looks great, right? Good. So anyway, guys, you know, this is it, right? And you see, like, these are brighter, so they're gonna pull down, right? And these are brighter on the top, they're gonna pull up, and they're gonna be connecting here through these. And you got this beautiful detailing around. That looks really solid. So I think we're good, and all it's just left now to do is render. So anyway, that's it for this one. Don't forget to pick up our trim pack, because it's fantastic, and you'll be using it for, you know, for years to come. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.